messy in here. It's never a big mess when I'm looking at my desk setup. It's always a bunch of small things. What's good, y'all? Simeon here. We back at it. And as you can see from the title, we're talking about my most used and my least used equipment. And if you're new to the page, welcome. My name is Simeon. I strive on helping new creators find direction. And what better way to help you find direction than to let you know what is my most and least used equipment. If you're new to the page, my story is I am a full-time creator. This is my bread and butter. This is how I make all my money. I don't have a side job. I don't have a part-time. This is full-time creation. Most of my work comes from real estate and events. And I am starting to pick up more photography work because that's where I started. I don't know how, but videography just kind of took over my business. So that's been, everything for me. With that being said, there were pieces of equipment that I bought specifically for photography. And because I started doing more video work, I just started leaning into buying different things that made production for video better. And with that being said, it just meant that more of my equipment for photography sits versus video equipment that gets to see the light of day more often. Because if you are a new creator, these are things that you are looking for to see what's best, what will help you. And although I can't tell you exactly what cameras to buy, I can tell you what has helped me the most based on what I'm shooting. So starting off with lenses, if you're not new here, you know that I have gained over the years of my career multiple lenses. Now, some lenses were a hype purchase. Everybody was talking about it. Everybody was getting it. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to get it too because the sharpness everybody's talking about, or the price point, or the weight, or whatever. So I bought it based on the hype. And then there were some lenses that I purchased because of what jobs I thought I was going to be getting. Considering both of those things, I would say my most used lens right now is probably two. It is my G Master 24-70. I take this thing everywhere, and my Sony G Master 16-35. Now, this is the Mark 1. It's not the Mark 2 versions of either one of those. I know that they have lighter weight in the Mark 2, but it's just not necessary for me because my gimbal can handle weight, and if I go handheld, it doesn't matter. Now, the reasons I use these two more than almost everything behind me is when I'm shooting events, I have to get multiple looks and multiple focal lengths. So I definitely need a 16-35 for a room full of people to make sure I can get that really wide shot. And so I don't have to get super close to a speaker, I will use the 24-70. Now, if the room is huge, sometimes I will use my 24-105 because I can punch in a little bit more. But most times the events that I'm filming are, I would say, medium to large. So I don't really need to punch in that much. I can actually get close. But I have been to events where they were shot in a very small room or a house. Like there was no room for me to walk at all. So having something that can get from here to there to just make it appear like I was moving around is everything in that type of situation. So if you're looking to film events, I would say this would definitely be a go-to. If not this, the 24-105. And of course, you heard me say that I was shooting real estate, so the 16-35 definitely is my bread and butter for that one. 16 is definitely wide enough for me. And if I want to get detailed shots of the home, maybe it was staged nicely and I really want to show off some of the design of the house, then punching from 16-35 definitely gives me a little bit more variety of the look. Now for my least used lens, that is the 2-600 Sony. I have not used this on a job one time. I've taken it out to take pictures just for fun, but on an actual job, it has not seen the light of day. Now, I bought it because I was really looking to getting more jobs in sports photography, and real estate just took off for me, and I didn't have the time to really pursue that. So yes, I'm still interested in it. I would love a job where I don't have to be close to someone at all and I can just film them doing their thing or take pictures of them doing their thing. I'm not really into wildlife. I live in Southern California, so we got bears and mountain lions, but I'm not trying to do that. Moving on to cameras. Now, if you're not new to my page, you know that I have the FX6, the DJI Ronin 4D, FX3, A7S3. I've gathered these cameras over several years, so I'm not balling. I just know how to budget and I know how to go after what I want. But right now, my most used camera is definitely the Sony FX3. That's what I'm shooting on right now. I like that I can plug this microphone directly into the FX3 handle. It just makes collecting audio a whole lot easier. I love it because I can really use it as a run and gun camera. I like the handle that I have on it. It fits my gimbal nicely. If I wanted to rig it out, I can, and I love the color in it. Now, some may be saying the A7S III and the FX3 are exactly the same, which I would agree to based on the sensor design and everything. But a part of what I do, I actually pick on aesthetics as well, and I really love the way the FX3 looks. And I really love the way the FX3 looks as opposed to the A7S III. That kind of looks like every single Sony camera that comes out that has a viewfinder on top. I kind of wish they would change up the design here and there, but I would say that's one of the reasons that I do choose it. My least used camera is the A7R III. Now, I didn't actually purchase that camera. I actually got a trade-in with a buddy of mine. I traded in a couple A7 IIIs for that. And I thought I was going to use it a lot more because I needed 2 cameras that could take really good pictures. And I have the A7 IV, which is amazing for photos. And then I would have that. And I was doing a lot of weddings at the time. But I haven't found myself using it very often. I probably used it maybe 2 or 3 times since I've traded him. And that was about a year ago now. But if you're the type of person who takes more pictures than video, you know, that might be a good thing for you. But for me, it just kind of sits behind me and doesn't really see the light of day too much. Now, if you are curious about the FX6 and the 4D that I mentioned earlier, those cameras are amazing. I have not used the FX6 and didn't like it. That thing is just heavy. And when I say it weighs a lot, it doesn't weigh a lot, but when you're filming events and you're holding a camera for, you know, 4 to 6 hours, it's going to start to weigh on you. And as a dedicated tripod camera, it's amazing because I can just connect a V-mount battery to the back of it, hit record, and I know it's going to collect a whole lot of video, especially because I have the Angel Bird 1 terabyte memory card, so I don't have to worry about, you know, the camera turning off or overheating or losing space. But as a run and gun situation, which is most of my work, it is not ideal for, you know, those type of situations, especially when I need to be quick, because there are a lot of buttons on that camera. If you don't know, I customize a lot of them, but you know, most times I need something just a little bit faster and it doesn't give me that. And on top of that, I do need a camera that can collect audio without the top handle, and the FX3 can't do that. Without the top handle, and the FX6 can't do that. And the Ronin 4D is a beast. I love having the gimbal set up on a camera already, knowing that I don't have to bring my Ronin 2 to a job in order to have stabilized footage is great. It's also heavy, and I'm not truly a fan of the 17 to 28 focal length that I have, especially because I'm used to using a 24 to 70. I would love that option for the 4D just so that I have that versatility, but I don't. So they don't have a lot of lens options. So that would be the only headache or thing that I didn't like about it. That would. Now, going into audio, I don't really have a whole lot of audio options, so I'll just say the DJI Mic 2. Any audio that I can use that's a Lav option that has internal recording is a game changer for me, because I do have speakers that I think they're done talking and then they end up saying something else. So just being able to record internally is a big deal for me. All right, y'all. So those are my most and least used pieces of equipment. I hope this helped you maybe make a decision about what you need to get for your personal business or even your creative work. I don't necessarily like to tell people what to buy, just because the jobs that you take are going to be different from mine, and the situations you find yourself in will be different from mine. So you just got to use whatever's best for your current situation. But if you are a new creative and you're looking to get direction on maybe jobs to get, what cameras to look into, things like that, consider subscribing. And I would appreciate it if you comment, because that helps me come up with ideas for more content in the future. And I will see you guys in the next video.